Hello, I'm so glad to be here tonight. Take my mind off dull night, girlfriend's house, romantic meal. That was a nice meal. My bill definitely agrees with that. Off to the toilet and not pilt the biggest jobby of my life. And it would not flush away. I mean, this thing, it was the size of the Titanic. The only difference is the Titanic sank and this fucker wouldn't. And what you mustn't do in those situations is get the brush and try breaking it up into smaller bits. I tried that. I had 10 jobbies to contend with. It looked like an armada, a fleet of ships off to wage war against my dignity on the high seas inside the toilet pan. Now, as I've gotten older, I've become a lot more health conscious. But don't you find there's too much information out there? I mean, take fats for example. We've got bifats, monofats, polyfats, fucking multiple complex disorder fats. And this new one, the trans fat. What the fuck is a trans fat? Hello, I'm a trans fat. I'm a good fat Monday to Friday, but at the weekends, I like to dress up as a bad fat. Give us an explanation for God's sake. Now, another thing I hate is people with bad hygiene, especially flatmates. I mean, my last flat was so disgusting, the kitchen was so minging, in fact, there was so much bad bacteria in the fridge, it was actually plotting in there. It is time, comrades. Time to overcome the remaining good bacteria. Only the Yakult stands in our way. Defeat the Yakult, and the fridge shall be ours. You know, I'd open the fridge at 2 in the morning for a wee snack. All I'd hear is, what the fuck was that? So much bad bacteria, it was positively evil. Now, as I've gotten older, my hearing's became a lot more sensitive, and I've therefore become addicted to earplugs. Now, you may laugh, but it's a serious addiction. I mean, I think at the very least, the chemist should offer you some kind of fucking earplug replacement therapy. But seriously, I was on the internet, and apparently it's becoming so bad a problem. A couple of years from now, folk like myself will probably have to check ourselves into some kind of rehab to get ourselves off the earplugs. And it made me laugh. It made me imagine my first meeting of Earplugs Anonymous. So tell us the story, Mr. Watson. Well, at first it was 1 packet of earplugs a day. By the end of the week, I was on to 20. Then after a month, I was on to the hard stuff. Let it out, Mr. Watson, we've all been there. The earmuffs! At which point, some guy probably stands up, pulls his earplugs out. What was that you're saying, Mr. Watson? I didn't quite. Oh no, falling off the wagon! Now, another thing I hate is disability discrimination adverts. I work in the care field. I find them so patronising. Take one from a couple of years back. It was something like, John, with the help of quarriers, can make an omelette. Hello, I'm John, I can bake some eggs. Fuck off, how patronising is that? First of all, why does the government pick people with names like John, Mary, Sarah Bill? Simple names for simple people? I don't think so. Why not give them names that empower them? Exotic names like Germaine or Michelangelo. And making an omelette, it's not exactly rocket science or a life achievement. Why can't now be something like Francesca, with the help of quarriers, has learned to defuse a nuclear warhead. That's what you want, adverts that empower folk with special needs. Now finally, I'm a twin. Being a twin's great. You're never alone on your birthday, but we're non-identical, so when folk meet us for the first time, they think we're friends, they find out we're twins, and they try and say something smart. The one that springs to mind is, oh, you're twins? Well, I do suppose you've got the same chins. What, are you a fucking poet? But seriously, chins, it's not exactly the first thing you notice in a person, unless your neighbour's fucking Bruce Forsyth or Jimmy Hill or something like that. But seriously, if that was the case, imagine this scenario. Mrs. Watson's been mugged Friday night, gets a phone call Monday morning. Can you come down to the police station for an ID parade? Not a problem, constable. She gets down there, and bear in mind, the guy that mugged her has got half an eye hanging out, 10 scars on his face, 20 teeth missing. She turns up, there's fucking 5 chins in a row. Identify the culprits in your own time. Oh, let me see now. It was chin number 3. I'd recognise that chin anywhere. It just wouldn't happen, would it? Now, my final point on the subject of chins. I was doing some research, I know chins, twins. I was doing some research on the internet this morning, and apparently women with large chins are more likely to cheat on their partners. So for all the guys who out with their girlfriends or their wives, I've got a measuring tape here, which I'm quite happy to rent out after the show at a reduced rate, and hopefully that'll put your mind at ease. Or if you've got some earplugs, I'll swap you that for them. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.